What does forging your own path mean to me? I think it's just figuring out exactly what you want to do and then navigating the way forward. It's taking the first step on this journey, and you don't know where it's going to go or how it's going to be, but it's taking the first step.
Powerful. What does figuring it out mean for you?
I think I like there's this really great fantasy series that I like. I love reading. I love all these different books. I'm really into it. And there's this line which I'll probably muck up, but the character is asked the question, "What's the most important step to take in a journey?" And he defaults to saying, "Well, the first step. The first step is the most important." And later throughout the story, he realized that that's actually false. The most important step is always the next step, because there's so many times where we can feel like completely giving up or ending the journey. But if you always have the mentality that no matter what happens, I'm always going to take that next step, that's the most important thing. Because if you stop, then the whole journey is over.
I so relate. This morning I woke up and I was like, why did I write a book? Why am I having a launch? Why have I used all my money to bring this to life?
Right.
And I just felt like, when is this going to stop? That's how I was feeling today. It's like, when is this going to stop? So a lot of self-pity this morning. And then I was like, Rugare, get over yourself. What is the next step here? Focus on the next step. Because everything else that my brain is telling me, the fear of the unknown, what next was going to cripple me. It was going to rob me of power. It was going to rob me of action today. So that's very powerful saying, take the next step.
Yeah, that's it.
We often avoid failure. It's typically associated with being weak or not enough. Can you tell me when you have felt like a failure, when you have felt weak and not enough?
Yeah, I think many times. Like I don't think that's ever going to stop, and I think it's actually a really normal part of life. It's a normal part of definitely building a business. I think one that really comes to mind is when I was in university and I'd moved out of home. I was trying to get the best possible marks that I could. And I was also working a sales job that was commission only. And I really failed. I didn't hit the sales target that I needed, and I was falling behind on my grades. And I was so stressed and stretched in all these different ways. And I remember a day or a night at the uni, studying really late at night. And I was just thinking, I can't do this. I'm trying as hard as I can. I can't go back home. I can't ask for my parents for money. I'm just stuck in this situation and I'm not meeting the standards that I need to. I definitely felt like a failure.
I hear you. I'm right there with you with that. There's so many moments when I have felt weak and not enough. It's not just this one thing. And it's important that we normalize it. That's why I asked this question, because we live in this world of perfection. Like there's no space for failure or these emotions of feeling weak and not enough. I feel that, but it doesn't mean I can't continue my journey. It doesn't mean you can't continue your journey.
Yeah, and I think if you're really trying to do something big, and I don't mean big as just in terms of building a big business, it could be big as in helping your family or changing your life or forging your own path, you're inevitably going to face these difficult situations. And the whole game is just figuring out how to get through these things. Like, how do I not let this be the end? And how do I not let this thing make me stop? Because there's many times where I could have just said, like, enough is enough. I just give up. But that's why I say that most important thing is the next step. Because if you just constantly take the next step and you never let the failure that you're facing now be the end, you're unstoppable. You just keep moving forward and learning. And yes, you fail and things don't go well. And really, as you get better, the problems just get worse and worse. They get bigger and bigger. But I'll tell you this, the problems that I deal with at this stage in my life and business, if I faced those when I was, 10 years ago, and the experience and grit and fortitude I had at that time, there's no way I could handle the things that I have now. And so it's like this journey of growth and development builds that strength in you so you can take on the next challenge that comes up.
And that's so powerful, because this is where you talked about growth and perseverance. So even as you grow, their problems don't disappear, but how we approach the problems today are different from 10 years ago. That's where the perseverance comes into this.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah, I heard this quote the other day that if you're a leader in any respect, leader of a business, leader of a family, leader of a team, you're probably not going to have 2 great days in a row. And that's just part of it. And I think as soon, the more we can normalize that and realize that's just part of it, I'm expecting bad things to happen and setbacks to happen. It's not like I'm constantly thinking about that, but I'm not surprised when they happen. I'm more so, okay, there's another one. Of course, this is going to happen. Let's get ready to deal with this and have some grace when we have to deal with it.
I love that.